So welcome to week 5, and we're going to start talking about what all of us experience at some point or the other, and we understand it as a problem or perhaps some kind of lack of health. But I want to share today that actually the opposite is true. So my ishara is towards fever, cough, cold, that you can see my screen now.
Yes.
Right? So I want to share about patterns in nature and patterns in our body, in our life. My audio is also good. Okay. So just like there is a lot of beauty, a lot of symmetry, sometimes asymmetry, but there are patterns, just like that. In our body, a body follows very specific pattern to renew itself, to clean itself, to repair itself. And when we start seeing the pattern, we will not be scared of it. For example, when suddenly there's a backache or suddenly there's a ear pain, chest throbbing, a lot of congestion, mental fog, we think it happened suddenly. So I want to share that actually there is a lot of buildup of symptoms that body is communicating, which is actually the blueprint for healing itself. And once we start understanding it, we won't be scared of it. So I want to start with 2 basic functions that are happening in the body all the time. What are the most important functions? What do you think body has to do? Otherwise, it won't survive.
Elimination.
What about the heart?
Yeah,
The
obviously
breath?
that has to.
What about the breathing?
Yeah.
And have you ever got constipated?
Yes.
Yes. So did you survive it?
Yes.
Yes. So body can survive lack of elimination for a certain period of time. But breathing and the supply of blood, circulation, so the heart and the lungs and the brain. Even after someone is brain dead, we say that they are even everything is not working, but their brain is working. We say that the person is still alive. So that is the primary kind of the threshold, these 3 organs, heart, lungs, and the brain, that we need to keep working, and the body keeps taking energy for that. The next most important thing after circulation, respiration, and thinking and brain, what do you think is the most important thing after? Digestion. So digestion is more important than elimination. Why? Because possibly you could be having some kind of poison, some kind of stale food, and the body wants it to be wants to be safe, and it wants you to, hi, welcome back. So we are talking about the most important thing after breathing, blood circulation, and thinking for the brain, for the movement of for the working of the brain. After that is digestion. And elimination is the second priority. If we have digestion and elimination, these two choices, body will choose digestion over elimination. Have you noticed when you are going to the toilet and you in the morning you're going to the bathroom and suddenly you start checking your phone? Have you noticed you can hold it? Have you noticed you can start holding your stool? Maybe in an emergency, in any accident, have you ever noticed that you have actually consciously decided, I can't go, so body will hold it? That happens because we are busy and we are trying to do everything, but this can happen in the body for up to 8 kgs. Fecal matter ready to be eliminated can be held in the body like this at every cellular level. We can think, where is it hiding? Where is it holding? In every cell there is space and it holds it. It spreads it, and especially last time we were doing that, the weakest link will be where the elimination will start. Remember last week's session that if there is any toxins, body will hold it in the area either the strongest or the weakest. I'll talk more about this. And just to do a recap, actually, do you want to do a review of what all we've done up to now, or shall we continue with this topic? Review?
We should continue, I think.
We can continue.
Continue. Okay.
I remember when you were talking.
Okay. So the elimination is not as important. You can start seeing in your life. One thing, I can give you a practical tool that you can do. In the morning, you're about to go to the toilet, just eat something. Even if you have banana, you will see that you will have no urge to go. So where did it go? Digestion is more important. And how many times we eat? We eat 3, 4, 5 times a day, right? And how many times we eliminate? Once or twice a day. And so you know the rule of first in, first out. If something is gone in, it's digested, it should leave the body. But does it leave the body? Only twice a day we are going and 5 times we are eating. What is happening? What is happening is that the amount of time we are taking to digest the food is 6 to 12 hours for grains, for cooked food. And for fruits, it's half an hour to 1 hour. So every 1 hour, if you're having fruits, your body is digesting it. And you'll have more elimination, which is not a bad thing. We cannot, we usually think, Minnu loosies lag gayan, I've got loose motions, but actually, जिन्ना आपां खा रहे हैं उन्ने time we should eliminate. So if you are eating breakfast by 1 p.m, we should have eliminated that breakfast of 9 a.m. That should be the process, because only in an empty stomach you can put more, na? But already the stomach was digesting and it hasn't finished the digestion. We haven't had the elimination. And what did we do? We put something new in. So do you think the body continued doing the elimination that it was doing of breakfast? No, it stopped it. The emergency is that something has come from this food pipe and we don't know, oh, stale hai, oh, fresh hai, whether it is poisonous. Children keep tasting things, right? Even someone could have given something harmful to us. So we need to be checked, like the digestion is more important. So body drops the elimination and starts the digestion. So these two processes, digestion is more important. Second, the body is always doing two processes, building of cells and breaking down of old cells. So anabolism is building new cells from the material we are putting in the body, whether it's samosa, gulab jamun, apple, banana, the choice is yours. the cells are getting made of the same food. That is called anabolism. At the same time you're looking at me, the cell is being made in the eyes also. But we don't get to know because body is seamlessly designed to work without having any interruption. When we have discomfort, when we have interruption, that means there have been certain things we have overlooked and body is only asking for help. So anabolism and catabolism is breaking down. So the same digestion, you can understand it is a process of anabolism, and elimination, you can understand it's a process of catabolism. So it is very important to understand that 1/3 of our fecal matter every day is only dead cells. So why dead cells? Because body is regenerating at that fast pace. And they say like 99% of the dust in the house, they are your dead skin cells that are falling. So what does the body do when we get fever, cough, cold? Ye kyun hunda? I want to share that there are certain exit routes of the body. There are eyes to gidda aandi hai na, you get when you get up, you get something in the corner of your eyes, right? What do you think that is? It's elimination. Earwax is elimination. Mucus is elimination, right? And last time we covered that pimples are also elimination. Did we cover that? We did, right? Because when the pimple comes, it's a small, it's a elimination of acidic, fecal matter, acidic matter that needs to leave the body. So when it touches the skin, it burns the skin a little bit. So it's a pimple. But something interesting that I want to share, and bowel movement also, we understood that we can, with our mind, stop the stool sensation, right? Right. So what does the body do in an emergency? Because so many exits are there: eyes, ears, nose, mouth, bowels, kidney, and skin. There are 7 exit routes. But apa ki karde hain? In an emergency, the body will open which route? Looking at, think.
I think the first in an emergency, the bowel movements ही होंगे ना, या फिर sweating बहुत होंगी कभी-कभी.
Yeah.
When there excess toxins.
Yeah. Thank you. So this
According to
thing
me, skin
is
shows dryness.
skin shows.
Sometimes
Yeah. See, this is very interesting. Every exit can be blocked. The eyes can be closed. The nose can be closed. The mouth can be closed. The ears can be closed. The bowels can be held back because we can hold it, thinking abhi time nahi hai. But the skin cannot be blocked. It's the biggest eliminatory organ and we cannot block it. Whether we can block it with tight clothes and synthetic clothes, but still most of our face and neck is open. So what does the body use in elimination of, in a special elimination? Skin. Skin is the first organ that is used, and bowels are an organ also. Mouth is also an organ, and but skin is the first floodgate that will be opened. So in our circle of natural healing, we congratulate each other when we get pimples. We are like, wow, teri cleaning ho rahi hai yaar. Amazing. That's how we talk, And when people get fever, they are actually congratulated because fever doesn't come in a weak body. Fever only comes when you have the energy to eliminate. And secondly, I want to share with you about body prioritizes the removal of toxins and slows down the building up of cells, because body can't do both at the same time. So it gives, it can do both at a less momentum. But if it has to go for an emergency evacuation, then all energy is on the evacuation. Why? It could be that it's built up too much, because people say nothing happened. I've been having samosa for 20 years. You can be having for 40 years also. But after 40 years, like, there's a capacity. What I have understood and read and studied is that 40 years is a capacity, and up to 8 kgs is a capacity that body can store. I've seen many overweight people, and people can store much more than 8 kgs, I think. But ready to be evacuated fecal matter can be stored back. Like, that's the surprising thing, that when body doesn't have energy, it can't eliminate. Second, when we are using all the energy for digestion, it can't eliminate. So what will the body do in that situation? It will go for a special elimination. It won't ask you, but it will organize a spring cleaning. So in that, the growth is not the priority. The removal is the priority. Do you recognize any of these? Body ache, headache, cold, skin rash, sneezing, mental fog, you just can't think. Especially in pregnancy, you'll notice few months that there's mental fog, because body is trying to clean in preparation for that new life and trying to prevent you from using that faculty that uses so much energy, which is the brain. Same happens in fever. Dizziness, diarrhea, vomiting, pimples, cough, cold, body ache, fever, headache. These are signs that body is eliminating, using a different exit. So if it's body ache, what is the exit? The lymph system. Lymph system are the joints. We did it in one of the sessions, right? That we have to pump the waste out of the body through joint movement, because that is the only pump for the lymph system, for the heart, the nutrition filled enriched blood, the oxygen enriched blood. It's the heart. Heart pumps the fresh blood, but the bad, dirty blood back into the from the toes up into the body and to the kidney is pumped by the joint movements. So the gutters, everyone who we have these joints, these are our gutters. These are the places where body holds the toxins. Hence, these are the places that hurt the most when we have too much toxic overload. Have you noticed? Older people, their knees hurt, the hips hurt, or the ankles swell up. Try seeing someone who's not so healthy and elderly. You'll notice that their ankles are thicker. And especially when they are not moving much. That's because body holds things on the joints. And especially the ankles, like, it collects all the heavy toxins, because the weight of the body, it's difficult to take it back up. So how is cold the elimination channel? So mucus through the mouth, through the nose. Even people get from your elimination in stool. A lot of mucus can come out in the stool also. Why does the body use mucus? Why do we have a runny nose? Why doesn't the body use a proper, like, bowels should be used? Stool is fine, Has anybody ever got a burning sensation when you go? Yeah. Did you notice before that if you had any alcohol or you had coffee? Noticed?
Not really. Just sometimes lack of water. Yes.
Oily food?
No, not even
oil.
Only lack of water. Let's say for about 6-7 hours I haven't had water, then probably.
Yeah. Why?
For me, it's after coffee.
After
That,
coffee?
that is when I left coffee.
Yes. After coffee, after alcohol, after salty food also. Arshdeep, if you have raw and the whole day and like 3 days, and then you have one cooked meal, you'll feel thirsty. Why? And why lack of water causes the burning? And why body needs water? My main thing is on what is happening in the body that's getting thirsty, and what is happening in the body that there is this runny nose. Why not just have it in the stool, and why are you troubling me? Like, that's what people think, that the body is troubling us, right? Because when something is acidic, when something is more toxic in nature, it can harm the body if it's eliminated in the original form, in a concentrated form, because it can burn the root of elimination. It can burn the throat, it can burn the bowels, it burns the skin when you see the pimples happening. So what does the body do? Ulti aandi hai, when we vomit, have you noticed there's the throat gets hurt, and there's a lot of burning sensation in the throat, after not burning, but you feel something ugly has passed from your throat, right? Have you ever noticed? No. When you puke, the feeling in the throat is like gala baith janda hai na, that kind of feeling. The throat is basically irritated with what came out. Why? Because it was so acidic in nature. Acid is tezab. Acid is what burns, and more of it will burn more. Like if you have a cut with a knife and you put lemon on it, it burns. Lemon is acidic in nature. So what happens when we have any toxins that need to be eliminated? Body will not eliminate it in its whole concentrated form. Body breaks it down into parts and dilutes it. And then has anyone ever farted? Yes. And you have burped? Yes. Dakar, Anshu, you're doing something else?
At the same time, I mean,
No, not at this.
I mean,
No, I mean to say the relief that we get when we burp, when we fart. It's because are you with me? Anshu, are you there? Supreet? So what happens when we burp, we fart, we eliminate toxins in a diluted form. They are reduced, the concentration level is reduced, body adds more, like basically makes it into gas, dilutes it so much. So it burns less. And similarly, runny nose, mucus is the thick version of mucus. To remove also is very difficult. So body removes it by making it into liquid. You get runny nose, watery eyes, more urination. When you have something oily, something salty, you won't get stools, you get urine, because body wants to dilute it and remove it. Any questions so far? Skin rash, sneezing, diarrhea, vomiting, dizziness, mental fog, cough, fever. How is fever special elimination? Does anyone have a question on fever? Do you believe fever is special elimination? Just because I am saying it, but how is it special elimination? Is it always a special elimination, or there are some fevers to be scared of? Or any questions? You have no questions? How is that possible?
I
if you
think
can,
fever is just the point of relaxing your stress level, and I mean not in the mind but all over body. It,
I mean, if you can explain the mechanism of fever, probably, because I think I must have missed out on this topic of fever as an elimination.
Yeah, sure. Last week's session and before also, we've been discussing. Last week, did you see the recording, Arshdeep?
Not we see last time. See, there was a session which started with the pain and pain. How pain is also, something has to be which is accepted in the body. Only then it will be part of the healing process. So,
and then we get the unity theory. So unity theory is the understanding that all disease, the cause is one, and the treatment is one. So diabetes, thyroid, cancer, cough, cold, osteoporosis, everything, the cause is one. We are just trying to understand the cause. What is the cause? How is the cause one? We tried to touch the topic last week, and we're going deeper into the topic this week. It's called the unity of disease and health. Health is the same thing as disease, because health means body cleaning itself, a clean body cleaning itself. And disease is the same life's activity cleaning itself in an unclean body. And the unity of medicine and food, it's one. If your food is your medicine, you're having it 3-4 times a day, then you don't need medicine. And if your food is not your medicine, then no medicine can help, because you're having food many more times than the medicine. So the idea of food and medicine is one, is the second of the unity theory. The third is the cause of all diseases is one. And the fourth unity, treatment of all diseases is one. And I extended this theory that pain and pleasure is one, noise and silence is one, sorrow and joy is one. This is how confusion and clarity are one, because from one the other emerges, and into the other it goes back again. It's a flow, like a figure of 8 on the horizontal side. How? Because lack of cleaning is the cause of any obstacle in the body, and if it cleans itself, body will be okay. So how is fever? The mechanism of fever, let's discuss that. And then every fever is the same. So the mechanism of fever, those who have young children, they know that children get fever at the same time that they are growing. If you have noticed, when they get fever, then they'll suddenly increase in height, and suddenly their bones are growing. So it's called growing fever also. And back in the days, there was a lot of understanding, a lot of trust about it. And the doctors never used to give any medicines. But now there's that fear of fever has come in. Just wait for Ashdeep to connect again. Welcome back. So fever and its mechanism. What happens in fever? We know body raises it raises the temperature. What else happens? Those who've had fever, please give me the symptoms, the external symptoms, and then I'll relate it with the internal movement of the body.
Body ache.
Okay, body ache.
Body is quite warm.
Yes.
Body warm. Yeah. What else?
Weakness.
Sometimes
Weakness.
sneezing also.
Sneezing.
Little bit of sneezing.
Anyone feel sleepy in fever?
Yes, sleepy also.
What else?
Hallucinogenic.
Yeah. So that's not the time to go out and do your work or important meeting, right?
I think elimination process slows down at that moment of fever.
See,
I
this is
agree.
such a beautiful observation. No book can teach you what you observe on your own. And this is the most important learning process. Why the elimination is decreasing. It's so beautiful. That's the primary mode of my learning, although I've learned a lot from teachers and books. But yes, elimination decreases. You are mind fog, mental hallucinogenic, sleepy, sneezing, body ache, and rise in temperature. And have you noticed if you are very hungry or not hungry at all?
Not hungry.
And have you noticed that you have your nose, the smell is working, or you suddenly the nose doesn't, there's a blocked nose, and mostly in cold.
Nose is working, but in the case of like what's this going on? Corona, you at the time of corona fever, the nose stops working.
Yeah, so
Smelling decreases.
it happens in most cold and cough also, na? Your nose gets blocked, no? So,
Very rare.
okay. In my case, when I get cold, my nose gets blocked, and normally that's what I've noticed, that you get a loss of taste and the loss of smell and a loss of
Okay.
appetite. Correct? Correct? You get a loss of appetite also. So,
Right.
I get loss of appetite with fever.
yes, Anshu?
I get loss of appetite with fever.
Yes, loss
Like
of appetite.
it's like the thermometer feeling.
Yes. So we are
The
trying
moment
to
my fever is down, I would feel the hunger.
Yes. We are trying to understand why this is happening. Now you will tell me why this is happening. What do you think? So, why is the body raising its temperature? Let's understand, what does the body do in high temperature? I'll give you a hint. When we have something blocked and something frozen and we raise the temperature, can the body melt it easily? And normally what comes out when we have cough, cold, fever? Runny nose. So mucus is coming out. So mucus, when it's in its normal storage form in the body, it is very, very thick. And body needs to raise the temperature to melt that mucus and make it easily removable from the body. Can you understand? So things that were held, stored densely, like stones, fibroids, polyps, because they are concentrated forms of what we covered last time, toxins. All the cause of all diseases, lack of elimination, toxins building up, right? For them to be kind of reduced and removed, it needs to be broken down. And so body needs to raise temperature to break these down. That's one of the reasons. One of the reasons is certain virus and certain bacteria, they die at a certain temperature. That's why we heat the water. We heat the water before drinking when we are in an area where the water is very is unfit, right? सुनिया है ना कि पानी उबाल के रख लो better है ना? And cold, why we put things in the fridge? Because at certain temperature, whether it's too cold or too hot, the bacteria or the virus will not survive. Agreed? So body needs body increases the temperature to kill these. And the science and the knowledge of the body is that it knows exactly kede temperature te le jaake that bacteria and virus will die. It's not confused like us. It knows 102, 103, 101, 104. It knows very well. Never ever, if the fever has not been stopped artificially by medicines, never ever a fever kills. It is the most healing and renewing action of the body, repairing action. But when we manage the fever, when we think that fever should not go beyond 101, 102, and we don't have the preparation, mental as well as physical, that space, then we give medicines to reduce the fever. And then because the body has been taught by the blueprint of life to increase the temperature since millions, thousands of years. So how old is modern allopathic medicine? 50 years, 60 years, 100 years. So who will win? Will the body win or the medicine will win? Body will win. It will still raise the temperature, but the temperature can go to the head because it's still doing its job. Until the last moment that a person is even about to die, the body will continue to raise temperature, give fever, which is the sign that the person has vitality. At some level, they still have that pran shakti. The body will still try, but with the allopathic medicines and the shortcuts that we are indoctrinated to use, the body will have an imbalance with because of the medicine coming in the way, and so the fever can go to the head in certain cases. Any questions so far in why the body raises its temperature? Then I'll do the rest of the symptoms also. One is to melt mucus and any other toxins or any other hard concentrated toxins. And what is the second reason? To kill bacteria or virus, right? Shall I continue?
Yep.
Okay, so the second symptom we get is body ache, which we get in special elimination, also in fever. We can get body ache without fever also. So I just want to cover why we get body ache. What do you do? What do you do when you get body ache? Do you go for your weddings and you go for that meeting when you get body ache and fever?
Yes.
People do. How do you do that?
We just have to mentally prepare ourselves.
And you take some medicine sometimes?
Sometimes we don't have time for medicine. I mean, we just go in, have water, keep cleaning our face, and because medicine can make you very drowsy.
Yeah.
So it's happened a couple of times with me. If I've had fever, I've still stood there, given a presentation, and the fever goes for about 2 hours and comes back again. The medicine will make you drowsy a lot drowsy.
So I want to share something about this. So Preet, are you there? Welcome back, Anshu. So I have been into mountaineering and we have seen our own bodies get injured, yet there's no pain when we are on the mountain. When we reach the base camp, suddenly the pain comes. I have seen documentaries, I've heard of people like the arm was completely broken, yet it didn't pain till the person reached, the leg was broken, injured, till the person walked back, crawled, walked to the base camp. So the body is a completely intelligent web of life. It knows that you need to reach a safe space for healing to happen, and hence it will not give you the pain that will stop you from reaching that location. or in our modern times from that meeting that you need to go to, right? Unless the healing is an emergency, it really needs that healing, it'll stop you. And how does it stop you? It'll create such bad pain that you have no choice but to rest on the bed completely straight without the mobile. So the body ache, the mental fog, the weakness is the only way the body can arrest our movement. Otherwise, we'll keep looking at the phone and we'll keep thinking, forget the phone. We'll keep thinking, and if you don't have mind fog, and we'll keep accepting that we can still do this, whether it's being all the duties of motherhood or fatherhood or work professionally or family commitments. We always prioritize all our work rather than the body most of the time. Because sometimes we don't understand why the body. So imagine the only way the body knows how to repair itself is by giving you the indication of pain. Because if you don't get pain, you will not rest, you will not stop eating. And feeling sleepy is another sign. And sleep is the biggest way that we can get repaired. Hallucinogenic is another sign that if your mind was working normally, functioning normally, you will do all the work normally. Like that's what the whole world is doing. We are pushing our health on an extreme because we need to do more work for all the reasons. And nose blocked and loss of appetite, loss of taste is because, can you all hear me and see me? Okay. Because if you are eating, the body, what does the body prioritize? Elimination or digestion? Digestion. So if you're eating, one, your energy is going into the digestion. Two, the elimination is getting blocked. And the energy that had to go into healing will now be divided. And so the emergency healing, the emergency elimination will all be compromised. So any questions why the body gives you pain, any kind of pain, headache, body ache, heartache, any kind of skin rash, cold, cough, and fever, any kind, typhoid, dengue, any kind of fever. What is the primary aim? Body knows what has come, what has attacked, and what has accumulated as toxins. This is the process of life that we need to trust, that it's working at every second without our knowledge, without our understanding. So many processes are seamlessly happening. And the only time we get pain, whether in the pancreas, in the stomach, in the intestines, in the heart, in the brain, in the elbow, in the feet, is when we need to get out of the way of the body's functioning. So it gives pain to call our attention, like a child. If Viha doesn't cry, or you won't pay attention to some of the things that she wants you to understand. So that's one way the body also creates that connection with us, through pain. And another way that body is trying to tell us is that is the place where healing has begun. So rest that place. So remember, if you have those of you who ever had a muscle pull, if you rest it for 3-4 days, it's okay. If you keep using that same elbow, that same leg, you'll get a bigger injury or bigger, it becomes a bigger problem. Have you noticed that? So pain is of two types. One, when you move, it gets better. That is the pain of the lymph system is now working. The lymph system was stuck, the joints were not moving. So there was that pain, which was the toxins building up. And the second pain is fracture. There's a fracture, there's a muscle pull. That's where the body needs to arrest your movement. Otherwise, the repair will happen at a wrong place. Your bone will be crooked because you moved it. So the body gives you pain so you don't move. And what do we do with painkillers? We take 3 painkillers and we keep moving because no longer we have that pain. So sometimes people have the repair in the wrong place, like the dislocated shoulder and after the fracture. Are you following? Clear? Is it heavy?
Yes, yes.
Shall we have a break of 5 minutes for water and toilet? Or 10 minutes? Let's have a break of 10. No need, Ashti. Okay, 5 minutes, water break, because remember, you don't take water sometimes. So it's 3:50. Let's be back like in 5 to 7 minutes, just before 4. Okay? Okay.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
No, you don't have to go. Arshdeep is gone. Okay. So just
Uh,
mute yourselves and just, I'll be back and I hope you will be back before 4. Correct?
can I ask some question meanwhile?
No, I need to go get water and
Okay, sure, please.
So welcome back, and we're going to continue understanding how special elimination can be handled in the body. So far we covered what all are special eliminations. Any questions so far? No, but
One thing I want to ask, this is not regarding elimination. This is,
so
I
just
think,
keep
regarding the pain.
pain. Okay, keep your question to
Yeah.
what we discussed. Yeah, pain we discussed. Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, when I feel more hungry, what kind of pain that arouse at that time? Or when I am having the feeling of craving of sugar, sweetness, what kind of pain is that? What kind of body wants at that moment? I just want to know.
Good question. It's not a pain, but it's a symptom. It's a communication. Maybe you want to understand what is the body communicating and asking. So when we are hungry, the question is always that whether it is true hunger or it is our emotional hunger. Do we need coziness? Do we need company? Do we need connection with ourselves? Do we need safety? I've noticed when things are very unsafe around me, like people are shouting, people are fighting, there's an accident, something is happening, then I feel hungry for sweet. And it's not craving, it's not hunger, it's a craving for me safety, and a warm cup of. I'm not actually at the moment that you will notice when something big happens in your life, you won't feel hungry. But after some time, when things are normal, like especially there's a fight with your loved ones, there's some tension that you saw, whether it's directly involving you or not, because in fear of I'm sorry, can you hear Can you hear me now? Okay, so I'm sorry. There was some problem with my connection. Now it's clear? Yeah, okay, okay. Just give me 1 second. I think it's my internet connection. This time I went for a lower connection. Maybe I'll just recharge it to the higher one. Normally I do 100 Mbps. This time I do 30. It could be that's the only reason why it's disconnecting again and again. Chalo, we'll try one more time. I think it should be fine. So the craving is a sign that we need something, and one is the emotional needs, and the second is the physical needs, which could be lack of nutrition. So you are craving for salty food. Craving is a need for nutrients, and mostly nutrients are packed in vegetables and vegetable juices. And if it's a need for sugar, sweetness, it's a need for fruits. So naturally in nature, how do you find sweetness? It's in the form of fruits, right? So these are two ways that you can compensate your cravings, salty or sweet. If you have a craving for oily food, chips, and it's a craving for fat. So you can have and carbohydrate, instead of oily, if you even have just a boiled potato with salt, you will still get satiated. It's just compensating. Then you can make a cashew dip. So I think 2 weeks after, we'll have a cooking session. So I'll share with you all the recipes. So yeah,
I thought
the So we want to discuss how we can support special elimination. And I want to start with the Panch Mahabhut Asan that we are already kind of doing in the morning. What are we doing? We are walking barefoot. So we are connecting with Dharti, with earth. We are connecting with the dew, which is Pani. We are connecting with the sun in the morning, Agni. And we are kind of noticing the special freshness in the air, the space that is created in our day when we wake up early or we go out, the sky, just watching the sky can be so expansive for us. So this is like the Akash Tattva. We are slightly connecting to it with fruits also, because we are having fruits only as breakfast. So we are keeping that space in our body also, body and mind. So that is Akash Tattva. And then we have our pranayam that we are doing, which is our Pavan, the air element, right? So Panch Mahabhut Asan is like the most basic food for us. Most of it is subtle. Subtle matlab invisible. Air you can't see. You can't see Akash, the space element. We can see Agni little bit, like the sunlight we can see, so-called. Pani we can see, dharti we can see. But the subtler the element, the more powerful it is. So pranayam is much more powerful than whole foods, the fivefold food that we did. Much more powerful. So that's how now we know the yogis used to live on just the, yeah, they'll just take some boiled leaves as the tea and just hawa, just air, and they'll stay in the mountains. Like, that's the stories we've heard. It's because of the subtle elements. They are taking the akash tattva, the pavan, vayu tattva, and they are taking the agni tattva mostly, and then pani. Dharti, they are taking very less, right? This also means the more gross you take, the heavier your body becomes. And the heavier your body becomes, the gross it becomes, the more difficult it is for the body to go evolve spiritually, right? Like it'll become sleepy, it'll become tired. So a lighter body is able to connect and do the practices for meditation, spiritual growth more easily. So I want to share about what we are doing in an everyday basis that is helping us heal and or blocking us from healing. So something as simple as fever, cough and cold. Appa saryanu hundar, we all had it. Some of us have it now also. What do we normally do? Let's say fever came at 8 p.m. at night. What do you do? Some share your experience.
I would generally wait for it to rise to 102 and then take a paracetamol, thinking that it will vanish. But then I will lose the strength and then I will give in.
Oh, wow. Okay. So first you will wait. You don't want to take the paracetamol till it crosses 102 or reaches 102.
Somehow my body doesn't feel like fever until 100, 101. Like at 101, I will start feeling कि मुझे fever है.
Yeah.
Before that, I will feel okay, I'm not well or a bit of feverish, but not like I can't move or something like that.
Correct.
At 102, I will feel that there's something happening.
Correct. Okay. What
Yeah.
do you do? Do you go to sleep? Like, let's say you take the.
I just want to sleep.
Okay. And next
Yeah.
day, what will you do? Will you like keep sleeping or will you do some work and will you have some food? What do you do?
So before my wedding, when there weren't any responsibilities as such, whenever there would be fever, I would just sleep until unless I start feeling hungry.
And then you won't eat anything till you are hungry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, my mom had always been this supportive that she never asked me to eat if I'm not hungry. So that used to happen before wedding, but now since I have to get up and be there for all other things that need to be done in the house for home chores and all those, I get up and that's when I think that I should get the medicine right away.
So we are eating and we are taking medicine and we are not resting because we have responsibilities, in-laws or children or anything. So do you think all these things, eating and taking medicine and working, are helping in the healing process? No. Why?
No. And this time, when I called you in the morning, we had a chat, and you just told me that if you can't fast, because of the responsibility, just go on coconut water and fruits. I just had this feeling to trust you, and I just did it. So every time I was feeling hungry, basic thoda hi, but I just ate either fruit or coconut water. एंड अगर मैं सो गई होती तो शायद मुझे भूख भी नहीं लग रही होती, बट लेकिन बिकॉज आई वाज अवेक, आई वाज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, आई हैड टू बी, आई कुडंट रेस्ट, I rested only when Viha was sleeping. So earlier usually I don't rest at that time, but I used it. So I slept early. These were the things that I did this time.
And the fever lasted for how long?
It just last for 1 day, and I am sure it didn't touch 102 this time.
And you didn't check it also? Huh?
No, I didn't check it. I certainly know that this had been with me कि मेरी बॉडी को पता ही तब चलता है जब 101 और होता है, तभी मैं चेक करती हूँ. मतलब I am sure there was some fever because Viha was saying that Mama, you are warm. But I didn't feel it. Like my body could support it.
And you recovered from the fever without any pain, or was
I
there?
recovered from the fever. There wasn't any pain. Pain starts after 102, but my whole system, like I felt like my whole head is kind of choked. My like I couldn't talk, and that morning my voice was all choked, and my ears were hurting, my nose was blocked, and now slowly my one of the nostrils start running, and then the another one. And today it's still running. I'm still having cough, and now I'm having felgam even in the cough also. But it's a lot better. It's just the cold and felgam, and which I think is fine.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing. So welcome back. So Anshu was sharing that with this time with the experiment of taking fruits and coconut water, her fever lasted for, I think, less than 24 hours. And she felt a lot better with just cough and cold is there. So she didn't take medicine this time. But normally we take medicine, we take food. Everybody says if you don't eat food, you'll feel weak. How will you fight the fever, right? And we don't rest. And all these three things are important because the body heals only when it is resting: digestive rest, mental rest, physical rest. And any kind of medicine is concentrated, doesn't have water. Fivefold food doesn't have water, it doesn't have fiber, it's not whole. Sometimes it's plant-based that you can take, but it's highly dense and it's not raw. So you can see it takes much more energy to digest because of its concentrated form. So the digestion process of it takes us very back, even if it's going to help us in any way by relieving any kind of pain. The overload on our body is a lot. The other thing I want to share is that if the medicine was healing us, then we would not have the problem come back in a way that if you take some, like let's say you have joint pain and you take painkiller, do you think it takes the pain away, but do you think you are healing? So joint pain is because of lack of, the lymph system is not moving. So there's storage of toxins. If you don't move the joints and exercise and good food and good sleep, how can a painkiller or a pill heal you, right? So that we can understand is suppression. It's not healing. And so I want to share that you need to keep understanding that anything we have today, Jimmy, you're feeling good, it's because of all the causes that you have done in your life up to now, especially up to yesterday, that we are getting the benefit today. So this is the effect. The cause is behind us. Similarly, if there's pain, if there is mental pain, physical pain, there is some cause. If we don't remove the cause, the effect will keep coming. So now I'll quickly take us through the Panch Tattvas, that 5 elements that we are trying to connect now in this wholeness and in our life. And Akash Tattva is the space element that we are trying to connect in the mornings in our wholeness journey with only fruit breakfast. So we are having our first cooked meal as our lunch, whether it's 11, 12, 1 like a brunch, but try to make it longer so that the body can use the time for cleaning, right? Instead of thinking I have to do 1 day fasting, 2 day fasting, it's nice to just include it as part of daily life, so you get the benefit, although it's not as quick. But if you do a quick fasting like people do, the body will go into a quick cleaning. And then sometimes people can't take that much detox. They'll get so much headache, so much body ache, so much cough, so much puking, so much loose motion, so many pimples. They'll get scared, right? So better to do it gradually, slowly, build up the fasting of every day. The second is that in the fasting, what I want to share is about fever. We in nature cure as well as in medical allopathy system, the first rule is do no harm. Harm nahi karna. And how are we doing harm? When the body is in fever, when the body is in any kind of pain, the indication is clear: complete rest. Physical, digestive, mental. Why? Cleaning has started and your help is needed. Please don't ignore. Mind the gap, mind the pain. So the body is only and only has one SOS tool to inform you by thoda saath de do, and that is pain. And all the special eliminations. Special elimination, it won't ask you for help. It will make sure you get mental fog. It will make sure you have weakness, you can't get up. It will make sure you have so much body pain, so much lack of appetite or nausea. Have you noticed headache which nausea hunda hai? Why? Because if you end up eating, to fir to ho gaya kalyan. One, body is trying to eliminate, and two, you're trying to take all that energy and take it into the stomach. So it'll become even chaotic, even more chaos, right? So have you noticed what happens when you have headache and you go to sleep? The headache goes. Where does it go? Body finished the cleaning because you didn't move physically, you didn't eat anything, and you didn't think anything because the headache was so bad. So the first rule is do no harm, rest is the cure. Whenever you have pain, just simply sleep. And as my teacher used to say, Dr. Venkat, rest, sleep and eat fruits. That's all. And whatever it is, it will go away. And yes, in the case, Arshdeep, we can have one-on-one conversation, but I can share that there's a lot of interesting research that people have done on this, and slowly you can start seeing how your body is responding, as you build the trust, because mentally it's very important to build the trust. As you were saying that many people have told you about things, so it's important to mentally believe something. If you don't believe you can swim, if you keep saying I think I'll drown, then your body won't let you enter the water like the river. But if you believe it, then that chance body will let you take, even if you still, feel scared once you're in water. But at least before entering the river, you need to believe in it. Similarly, in this journey, we need to believe in the 5-element nutrition. So the second element is Vayu. See, we can live without food. We can live without water. Do you know how many days we can live without food? 45 days. Like it's been shown, whatever, that it has been. What do you think, Arshdeep?
I was thinking 3 hours, but 45 is a good good amount of days.
Like, of course, you'll be weaker, but you'll be having water. But water, you can live very less days. But air you can't at all. No? Just compare the gross and the subtle. So you can see how important the subtle is. Subtle hunda invisible, gross hunda visible. So sometimes we confuse everything jo dikhta hai na, what is visible. We give all the focus to that. Someone who has success, who has big car, big house, big family, big business is considered successful. But it could be that the visible is far less than, far more than, like what I'm trying to say is the visible things that the person has is not so much, is what am I trying to say? What I want to say is the invisible wealth is more valuable that you can't see, which is health. Sometimes it's only in the worst case scenario when every body starts showing, the symptoms that you start seeing that, hey, the person is not well. Normally people have they keep thinking that I'm well, even if they have pains and aches, they don't think that their body needs rest. Who wants to, if you answer the phone and you are a bit sleepy, they're like, hey, you were sleeping at this time? Very lazy person. Like our society has taken rest as something which, like Supreet said, I'm resting. I don't want to be on. Okay, your body is more important. If you needed rest, then that is what you should be answering. And I'm glad in this session you have that freedom. That is how true education is actually. Like one of my students in the school I was teaching in Chandigarh, he used to be lying down. And people used to think he's not listening. And it was in the music session, he used to lie down. And after the tune was played, he'll get up, he'll play the exact tune. He doesn't know, he hasn't prepared. But through his memory, he was so deeply listening. He's definitely gifted, but musically gifted. But the way we learn, we need to express our learning needs, and so please feel free to lie down and however you feel comfortable with your body. So how we can add this element? Open the doors and windows of your house at night. Even in winters, don't keep them closed because our bodies need oxygen. And in the house these days, we have only, like if there's 100% oxygen outside, indoors it's 17%. Like this was a study done few years ago. Now it might be even lesser because houses have become even, we tend to close because of mosquitoes and everything. Tend to close the windows and keep the doors closed. Try to spend as much time, now winters are coming, but spend the time outside in the sun because that's where you'll get fresh light, as well as the main very big cause of problem in illness that is very difficult to cure is fungus inside the body. So we need, and it's easily absorbable. If you are living in a house which has mold, which has fungus, the body will over time start absorbing because it's in the air and it needs air to live. So it will take it with the air, although it will, try to avoid it, but over a long exposure. So how we can check that? Clean environment in a house. Also, spend as much time as possible in the sunlight. As much time as possible. You'll get three things at the same time. Akash Tattva, Vayu Tattva, Surya. How Akash? The sense of openness, the mental kind of. So we had organized a walk in Chandigarh, and sadly, like both Anshu and Arshdeep, the Chandigarh participants, they couldn't come. Yadvinder was there for the mountain. We climbed a mountain, and the reason I wanted to go was to have that 5-element connection, And when you reach the top of any mountain, a small hill, and you can see far, even a top of a building. Like in Chandigarh, we have that Secretariat building. It's the highest, I think. You go there, you see the full Shivalik hills landscape. What do we feel when we reach a hill station and we can see far? Sense of space, no? A vantage point. So that we can get by being outdoors as well as much as we can. And the pranayam, fresh air, even if you're not doing pranayam, spend time outside. And sunbathing. This week we are going to do sunbathing without clothes, exposing the skin and the mouth. You can open your mouth and take sunlight, and the underarms and the groin, the private parts that we always cover. In our culture, that's the way we are, but we need sunlight there, especially underarms, stomach, back. So I'll send you a document about sunbathing, but basically you have to keep rotating every 2 minutes, because after, if it's a strong sun, you will get hot, and then that's not the recommendation. Hot indication means you have to move. So if you expose the other side of your body, then it's better. Hana? So if the furniture curtains are fading, that was the reason why my mother would not open the, like, keep open the windows, and because the tablecloth will fade or the curtains will fade. So that's a very small price to pay for the health. It is better to let them fade than you should, right? So
I have a doubt there.
yeah, go ahead.
Like one of our room get like really nice sun. So it's full of sun in winters also. But then that's through window. If sometime you are not able to go out, having that is a good idea or not?
It's better than nothing, but the direct exposure is better. Imagine Viha touching you through a glass. So the direct touch of earth. Now you're touching barefoot, right? How do you feel now? Now you know the difference between wearing shoes and bare touch, right? Now it's going to get cooler and colder. Hence, keep the connection going, because this will help you even in the cooler days. But as soon as it's very, very cold in North India in December, January, you can wait after you warm up. Like I know, Arshdeep, you do it first thing in the morning, but wait in the cooler weeks till you are warm up, you do some walk, and then you naturally feel ready to remove your shoes. So, I mean, don't do it as a, like a, what do you call it, dogma, like I have to do it first thing in the morning. It's very, very cold. Moon asked me to do it. I reached the hospital and my wife is calling Moon and saying, what did you tell? So not like that. But yes, follow your intuition and connection with earth and with your body. And as you feel warmer, cozier, you thoda sa to effort karna padega. It won't be like summer, but I promise you, when you warm up, especially walk, after like 20-30 minutes, you feel warm in your body. The blood is flowing more regularly and reaching your feet regularly. Then you can remove, and you'll probably reduce the time. Not if you feel cold, December, January, when it's very, very cold, but still try to touch, or with your hands, the trees. So the second last element that we're gonna connect with consciously is jal, is water. Pani is through the water that's coming naturally from the roots, and not okay, we are making dal and we've put lots of water, we are making soup, so we are having water. So if you notice, when you're thirsty, if you have coconut water, you'll feel very, very replenished. Try sometime when you're very thirsty. And the water that, if anyone has been to the mountains and taken that water, because it's rich in minerals, you'll feel very very replenished. And in my teacher has taught me that if you're empty stomach, it's been 4 hours since your food, 3-4 hours since your cooked food, and you are thirsty, it's better to have a fruit rather than water, because you'll have the nutrients as well, which are called electrolytes, Hana? Which now we have a artificial electrolyte solution, salt and sugar, but the real electrolytes are that are found in fruits and watery vegetables. So the last element, Prithvi, through food that is directly coming from sun-baked fruits, vegetables. The more you cook, the more water is evaporating, right? The food that is like, keep a tomato, how long will it take to decay? Maybe even 10 days. And cooked tomato, how long it will decay? Maybe not even 10 hours, right? So what is has more shakti, more prana? Cooked or raw? Because why? Because it's decomposing sooner. That means it has less power. If it has less shakti of its own, what can it give us? Right? So something that takes longer to decay is also biscuits and rusk. So this same theory doesn't apply there, because they can't give us shakti, because they never decay only. They don't have any pran shakti left, that they never decay. They can last for 1 year. So don't say, our moon was saying the longer it takes, the more energy it has. So these days I'm only eating cookies. No, not like that. So this week's theme is do nothing. What does that mean? Allow the body to do everything, and you do nothing to come in the way. Trust the body. The body is doing what it needs to do, because that is the blueprint of life. So if we understand that everything is a whole, every cell in our body is a whole, every organ is a whole, there is no need to doubt this body. The more trust we build, I know some of us who have had life experiences of medicines and, start thinking that maybe we need to take medicines, there's no life without it. But small steps we can take towards the direction of falling back in love with this magical, existence that is giving us breath every second, is creating new body organs, renewing the cells, is, no matter how late we sleep, no matter how less rest we do, it's still coping, and how many medicines we have taken, it's still coping. How much stress we take, still it's coping. How many times we've eaten unhealthy, still it's there. So let's be grateful for this beautiful gift, the gift of life. And the healing, the art of healing comes from nature, not from the physician. Therefore, the physician must come from nature with an open mind. So the only healer is Mother Nature. And the only role of any doctor is that of an educator. Because the true healing happens only by Mother Nature. And that is the gift that I want to share with you if you are educating yourself with this understanding of the body, you are your own doctors. This is the beginning. Wholeness journey is a beginning. Maybe it's a middle point for some of us, but let this not be the end. There's so much that we can understand if we start studying the way to study the body is by observing it. The number one study is always watching and observing. So if those of us who are not journaling, let's start journaling. Our sleep routine, our healthcare practices, if we did pranayam, how much walk, how many kilometers we did, and how sleepy we were is correlated. How much we ate and how sleepy we are is correlated. What was our elimination and how much we slept is correlated. Right? How many times we connected to nature today? Did we do barefooting? Did we touch? Did we smell flowers, touch leaves? Is correlated. So I wanted to just end with sharing a quick recap of the weeks so far so that we are all on the same page. So far, we started week 1 with the connection to ecology, with the connection between part and whole. And we started with the assignment of nature observations and barefoot walking video. Have you all seen the video? Yes. Arshdeep? Yes, Supri? Great. So barefoot walking video was a very big game changer for me. Hence, I insist in that. And the second week was the language of nature. It was to start building our lives to design our lives for wholeness. Start looking at the patterns in nature, the day and night pattern, how that rhythm guides our body rhythm, observation of body, mind, role of sleep, and how we need to participate instead of being dependent on what others are telling us to do. Let's start observing our body, our garden, our mind, and see how we are connecting that with our healing. The assignment was sleeping longer and journaling. Week 3 was an attunement to nature, attunement within, and we started with the role of fruits. We did the nature meditation, the 12 hours of light and darkness, which is the circadian rhythm. 4 to 12 is elimination, 12 to 8 is digestion, 8 to 4 a.m., 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. is sleeping, rest, and repairing. Remember, 3 cycles of 8 hours each. And we are journaling on sleep, the food we are eating, how much nature connection, elimination, and movement. And we did handouts on sleeping better and barefooting, foot hygiene. The assignment of week 3 was fruit breakfast and poetry on transformation in nature. So Arshdeep, I'm missing your poems. Anything, don't let it be a poem. That is amazing. You were singing after 1 week, remember? So
Yeah, I do sing. I do sing, but
just make up a poem. Like the bird is singing, I am singing. The leaves are falling, I am also getting up. Like just anything. Connect and just see the transformation in nature and notice it and just put it down in words. That's all.
Okay.
And I'm waiting for
I'll do it.
And Supreet, I think you wrote a personal poem, so it's beautiful, but also write something on transformation in nature. And Abhi and Yadvinder, you are also. And week 4, do you know what this is?
It's a tree,
Yes, one side and the other side.
the fingerprint.
Yes, how much beauty. And week 4 was the gift of unity. So we covered we revised the circadian rhythm impact on the body, how sleep needs are unique for each person. So again, depends on how much movement you did, what food you ate, what's on your mind. Are you going through conflict in life? Did you fall? If you fell, if you're sick, you'll sleep more. If you slept late, sleep more. Don't wake up with an alarm. If you had too much pizza and fried food or alcohol and coffee, you'll need to sleep more. Why? Because in sleeping, body cleans itself, right? So they are unique. And let nobody tell you that you are sleeping more than you should, because they don't know, because they are not in your body. And the unity principle we covered. We covered the meaning of health and disease as one, and symptoms as communicators. Even cravings are communicators. So keep noticing and keep writing and keep asking your questions and keep sharing your observations. And we covered the lack of sleep can lead to constipation, nausea. We covered that, right? So when you have lack of sleep, you will have all these symptoms that lead to some kind of emergency exit opening. So you will have sore throat. Have you noticed when you sleep late, the morning you will have either cold sometimes, or you'll have puffy eyes, or you won't get elimination in the morning, you won't have stool. Have you noticed that? Even 10 minutes, if you wake up before your natural sleep has finished, completed, your body will not have the natural elimination. So sleep as long as your body feels like sleeping. And we covered the gift of life. I'm going to send you the handouts. One of the handouts I didn't send was patents and gifts, because we need to still explore that. The group in assignments were there. You and Anshu and Supreet and Abhi need to connect. So if you haven't completed, please do. And week 5, assimilation and elimination. And some of the things we haven't covered, I'll cover it this week. And how we can start walking more. This is what is going to be one of the things that I want you to do this week, is walk more. So our ancestors walked minimum 16 kilometers every day on an average. So how we can add some, you have to do some work, let it be functional, not that you have to take out time for walking. Do some work, like instead of the vehicle, go on your feet. Try, or walk, or park further from your work and walk. And then medicine versus natural healing impact on the body. And this week, please notice how in the past, when you have taken medicine and healed, I mean, medicine for any pain, and how this week and from this week onwards, notice if you don't take any medicine and you rest, digestive, physical, physiological, mental, how the healing is different, how you feel differently. So we'll continue understanding stimulation and relaxation, and it's almost 5. So I have 2-3 more topics, but we'll do it on the Wednesday class. And this week, the assignment, 3 things that you can give to others that are not your help in the house help, that are not your like people you usually give to. Let it be someone new, and 3 services or gifts. It could be you can go listen to someone, you can offer your time, you can and then things that you can give that you don't need or that you want to give. But this is a week of gift giving. Okay, so just explore this, and I will share more handouts. And then personal assignment is digital detox and gadget free day, 1 whole day. Choose any day that is free for you. Is it possible for you? Not possible. Yes.
We'll try definitely.
We'll try. That's the way. So 1 day that you can be gadget free, that you can tell
One day or over the week?
any day this week, that you can be gadget free, no laptop, no music on the YouTube, no phone. Like phone is there, but not WhatsApp and Instagram. Like you can have emergency calls. Arshdeep, you can have your mobile data off, internet off, but people know if they have an emergency, they can reach you. But you see, most of the people who are working from home, working as like housewives, we don't have a day off. We never take time out. We never say, this is my holiday. But if we go to work, we are working for someone else, we always get holiday. We always get 1 or 2 days off in a week. So mentally, we need to make some boundaries in our life for our healing. Some off downtime. This is my holiday, that's it. So make it 6 hours for people like who are really busy on their phone. Take out 6 hours. Okay, out of the 12-hour window that we are awake, 6 to 8 hours, half day. And people who can do 1 day, it's a big gift. Try that. And nature art is what can be what Arshdeep and Anshu you did here. So just make anything, find anything that you connect with. Arshdeep, Supreet, Anshu, Abhi, and Yadvinder, those who are listening later, and just create something temporary out of that. Do it once at least this week. You can do it more times. Can you do that? Is it possible? Okay. And so create things out of things that you like. So go for a walk, pick up something, bring it back, and then and that's all. And walking more. So 3 things this week: nature art, more walking, and the third was gadget free. Yeah. And so we'll close now, and I'll send you this reading, or I'll just read it. This is from a book by Vanda Scaravelli, Awakening the Spine. She was one of the students of BKS Iyengar. And she writes on walking, carry your body, but please do not let your body carry you. Walking in the streets, one can see people heavily following their bodies. Their heads lean forwards, pulled by their necks, on their insecure legs, their feet not even touching the ground. It is clear they are the slaves to their bodies, following the whispers of their chattering minds. We must walk well, as animals do. You put the heels down first, placing the feet straight in front of you. Then expand the sole of the foot. Allow it to receive the full weight of the body, moving towards the toes, while the other leg moves forward to continue to keep the back foot on the ground so that the back of the knee remains extended and open until the last moment before lifting the foot for the next step. This way of walking will re-establish order if your body has developed bad habits. We are always in a hurry. We are in a hurry, we run, we run, we run. We try to do as many things as possible to achieve, to become, to obtain. To run is a symptom of fear. To run after somebody or to run after something. We are slaves not only to others, but also to ourselves, to our own ideas, our ambitions, our projects, even to our mental projections. This is a sad attitude that life does not deserve. The slave runs, but the king keeps quiet and remains still in their place. So that's all. So we'll close. How are you feeling? How was the session?
Actually, the session really, by and by it progresses, starts to make sense of a lot of things. Then when you have questions about your own environment and your own body, then when we start listening to what you have to say, so you start relating to each and every aspect of pain or weakness or fever, which we've discussed. So healing, somehow it makes the healing process even more easier, because then we know what's happening. We just don't jump to any solution which we really want to. Then we know exactly what's going to happen or what we should do.
Yeah, that's my gift, and that's my aim to share this gift. That is what is going to help us relax when that healing process comes, because we already know what's going to happen after this, and we know what all therapies we can do naturally, and how even now we can start doing those. We are already doing some things, but slowly we'll start adding the therapeutics that in pain that we can do this, and it seems so simple, but it works. So thank you for sharing. And Anshu, Supreet, how you feeling? And how you feeling in your body, Arshdeep?
Currently, I'm good. I mean, there are some pains which are happening in the body, like the knee pain on the left hand side is because of excessive jogging recently, and then some abdominal pain, some muscular pain here and there, but somehow it's manageable. I understand that there's something happening inside which I have to figure it out, and so, but yes, some pains have gone, some pains have surfaced. So but otherwise, overall, there's a positivity in life. There's a positivity in your thought process as well. So there is a change. There's a change. Actually, there's a change which I understand. That's more important.
And right now, how are you feeling?
So very relaxed. I'm on the couch, and I've gone through this entire session. I have very little concentration for a lot of things, but you've managed to hold my attention for full 2 hours. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. And we are not meant to concentrate so much, but yeah, that's the challenge. We are meant to be more exploring, moving like Viha does. But yeah, thank you for being so patient. And Anshu, please share. Supreet, please come on camera.
Yeah, I'm also feeling very much relaxed. Earlier, I was confused with my thoughts and regarding my food habits.
Can I ask you to come on camera before you're sharing, please?
Yeah, I can't. Sorry. This time, I'm very much sorry for that. because I'm busy with doing some my work also. I have some guests to arrive.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Now I'm feeling very much relaxed. मतलब कि मैं पहले कंफ्यूज थी कि मैं क्यों इतनी ओवर ईटिंग कर रही हूँ, मेरी एलिमिनेशन और डाइजेशन में क्या दिक्कत आ गई है. Now I'm feeling मतलब आपसे बात करके and the joining session, it helps me कि ये सब होता है तो you have to be with your pain, with your body. कहीं और नहीं भागना है, जो हो रहा है उसके साथ ही आपको समझदारी से अपना काम लेना है कि ये जो भी हो रहा है is something gain, no pain. No pain, no gain.
Thank you, Supreet. And in your body right now, how are you feeling?
I am feeling very much relaxed and very much clear what I have to do and how I can solve the pains and problems which are coming.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anshu.
One thing, the session was really informative. I think as we are progressing, it's getting more and more informative. It's just not the philosophical thing. It's things are making more sense why we are doing it, and it's not just oh magically it is happening. So and otherwise, one thing that I have learned till now is that there's earlier I used to be like, if I'm doing something, why I'm not able to do it consistently, because you will fall back for one or the other reason. This week, whatever happened with me and the way you pulled me back, uh, it is a reminder that the things will go back, but you just need to know that how to get back to it. So that's another thing that I've learned, and I just realized I've learned it right now. I just realized it. And otherwise, the class was really relaxed for me. I am generally a person who love to meet in person, but somehow this works better for me given the conditions around me right now. Yeah, so I'm feeling content that I could do it. That's it.
Thank you so much. I'm feeling very grateful for the trust you all have in me. And really, it's the trust that's helping you come back and ground yourself, because that is what always kind of is the starting point. And then definitely the rest of the things come, the experience comes, the lived experience comes, the insights come. And then also the balance, as you said, Anshu, that life will always be challenging and we will never be on the same, like just keep going on one track. But just like Viha and everyone who falls as a child, we learned how to walk because we kept getting up. So keep getting up, and that's all. So thank you so much, and see you on Wednesday. And remember to, what are the three things? Nature art, walking more, and the third thing?
Detox, like digital detox.
Yes. Yes, you can do it. Let's do it. Okay, bye. And keep posting, Supreet, Arshdeep, Anshu, and Abhi and Yadvinder, when you see the videos. Keep posting. It's like a logbook, and it helps us. This will help us when there are more challenges. Right now, most of us don't have challenges. But when we have challenges, this connection with the community will help us more. So wonderful. Let's close with a short Om 3 times and then Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So let's start. Together, you can unmute. Deep inhale. Yeah, let's start.
I cannot unmute it right now because otherwise everyone will be disturbed.
No, let's do it together. Don't worry.
Okay.
Last one. Shanti.
Shanti. Shanti.
Shanti.
नहीं मना कर दिया भाभी ने।
नहीं मम्मा को बोलो कि नहीं जाना उसको।
Thank you all.